I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is what we get to do here on Saturdays, where we get to talk about stuff that's happening in tech. Also, a big supporter and proponent of entrepreneurs and business in the city of Youngstown. So we do spend a good deal of time of doing what we can to support those who are trying to make enterprise happen in our fair city. And so I'm going to talk right off the get-go about some of the stuff that happened this week, and because I need to put my take on it, because I am also a participant in this whole world of business, and so I do have a very strong opinion about stuff that's happened. Now, all week it's been argued. TJX project was happening out in Youngstown, and everybody got really excited about it. But the problem is that. And again, we've argued this all week, so I don't necessarily need to add more to the argument that's already been had. But you need to know from a business entrepreneur standpoint of what my feelings are about what went down. So long and short of it is this: there are a lot of people behind the scenes who are really plugging away for things that are happening in our city. Okay, there's a lot of favors that are being called. There's a lot of free time that's being put in. There's a lot of effort and energy being put in to give our cities, our communities, a chance to compete against bigger communities. All right, and this week I was embarrassed, and I don't get embarrassed for my city. I love the people here. I love the businesses here. I love everything about our city. But I was embarrassed for us, and here's why. One of the worst things that you can do to promote our area and the people here are become selfish. And what happened out in Lordstown was a lot of people getting into that grumpy old man, get off my lawn, and then dividing out what you were willing to put up with and not. And basically because you are more important than the progress that's about to happen. And I don't, people who have an objection to something happening, I don't oppose that. Everybody absolutely has a reason to like or dislike. So here's the thing. Let's just say, for the betterment of the community, that somebody decided that my front lawn would be the best place to do something in the city, right? Do I care about me and my property and how it affects me, or do I care about the area as a whole? Okay, so in my case, as long as the community was getting the better end of the bargain, I would probably do the selfless thing and do what's better for our community. Because I love all of you guys out there, and I'm fighting tirelessly day in and day out to bring jobs and to help businesses and to create things that are happening. So if somebody out there decides to go, the people who aren't doing that decide that they want to say, hey, I'll give you an analogy, and it's a stupid analogy, but it doesn't matter. So let's just say you got invited to a party, right? And you're like, you know what? I want to do something nice for this party. So, you're usually a party, you're doing DJ music and whatever. I have a friend in California that, knows a band, a really popular band. And I'm going to pull some strings to deliver this popular band to this party, right? And so I pulled it out, and everybody likes it, and it's good for the party and whatever, and you deliver it. You call in some favors, so it's not going to cost anybody anything, and you deliver this band up. And then when that band shows up to this hosted party, you get thumbs in the eye. You get embarrassed that the band is made to feel stupid, rejected, just not kind in any way whatsoever. So now you got to go apologize to the band. So you gave up, you gave up some of the favors that you called in, all the effort to be able to pull this off. And rather than being thanked for the effort and everybody at the party having the consideration to know what effort went into it, instead these spoiled little people decided to pout and complain about something and kind of ruin it. Now, going in the future, how many people you think are going to start calling in favors for the betterment of the people of the community? It's not going to happen. Once your reputation is that you're a spoiled little community that cares about your property values, right, in the short term, and at the expense of the thousands of jobs that could be created out of it, that just bodes very, bodes very unhealthy for the progress that other people are starting to fight for. So whereas I'm not against you saying, hey, you know what, my property values are pretty important, and I hope that people have consideration when they do business, and I'm going to sit down at the table with you and make sure that that I really want you to at least take that into that consideration when you're putting it together. My feelings are known, when one part gets too powerful, when one opinion is weighted too heavy, and all of these people, you guys made some people look like asses out there. And so they're not going to go on the hook again for progress. And so I'm taking this really personally, because what happens, I go downtown and I start pushing people downtown and promoting it. And I know that I'm going to have this fight. I know that this is just part of the game. That what happens when somebody decides that in the beginning everybody's willing to do the selfless thing and give up some time and give up some expense and support it, but then somebody decides at some point to divide out their space and all of a sudden start asking, what's in it for me, right? Everything that we do up to this point falls apart, because once we go defensive, right, we ruin the motive, which we are a community that is hungry for opportunity, and we need to convert that to opportunity into substantial things and kick it down the road. Down the road, if you want to carve out some dividing lines, that's fine. But when you play that defensive, nobody wants to come and do business with you, because you're going to beat them up before they've done anything for you or cost you anything, and they're going to go to a community that's going to give them a little bit of hug and embrace them a little bit and be willing to compromise and be willing to have conversations, and instead of someone stamping out and saying, if I don't get my way, I'm just going to, be as difficult as possible and not let you into town. I mean, we do this all the time. This is the second time in my lifetime that I can remember us doing something really stupid because of that. I don't even know what mentality. I can't even give it a name. But this whole what's in it for me mentality has to go. So I wouldn't bring this up if I didn't have a what I think we should do thing. Now, like I said, I don't think we should shut people up who have objections, right? I shouldn't think we should include them in the process and make sure they don't feel like what their opinion is doesn't matter. What I'm saying that we do is we have a voice that's better than theirs and stronger than theirs and louder than theirs, saying things to the public where even though the minority of people might be objecting, the community as a whole is really supportive. But we're one of those communities where we injure our tail and then we pay attention to our injured tail, which creates more of the broken tail, and it just spins around in a circle, right? So we injure ourselves and then we pay attention to that injury over and over and over again. So what happens? Then the media covers our injury and our outrage and all of the negativity. And then what happens? It feeds on itself. The law of attraction means that whatever energy you create, right, gets multiplied. So if we create positive energy and we're all on board, right? And the spinoff to that is everybody gets taken care of, the community grows as a whole, and nobody gets to, bring up that negative cancer that comes up in the conversation always. But as long as we put energy into it, it grows and it gets all the attention. So if you could have 100,000 people asked, what do you think about this coming out there? And you have 100 people that says it sucks and I don't want it to happen. Well, what's going to end up happening? The media is going to go talk to the people who are pissed because that was what makes you watch on TV. So I want you to start, I want to guide you. I want to, seriously recognize the positive, optimistic people who are giving, and I want the media to cover these, and I want us to pay attention to this. I don't want us to look at the train wreck on the side of the road. I want it to be I want us to pay attention to the positive things that are happening in our community and let these negative things die, because the more we give them energy, the more people pay attention to them, the more the media gets them, and that becomes our identity. We are in control of how people feel about us based on what we put energy in. And you know what we put energy in this week? The stupidest thing, where we objected to something positive happen because of the people that it would have, put out a little bit. And I don't know all the details of it. I might be way off base. But in this circumstances, I know what we did. We took a company that would have brought jobs in here, and now the jobs might not come here. So what would happen if we'd have taken on the Amazon plant? They would have approved it, right? Let's just say the Amazon $50,000 or 50,000 jobs are coming to Trumbull County, right? And so everybody across the board was fighting tirelessly, calling in favors to get this thing here. What would happen when they found out what property is? Somebody was displeased because it was going to take out a favorite recreation trail, right? What would happen? Well, we would give it a voice, and our media would cover it, and everybody would think, wow, we wanted to do something really good. We were willing to believe in Youngstown. And what did Youngstown do to us when we came to town? Drove us into the ground. And that 100, when you pile on all the other negativity from other people and drive that in the ground, that's what the rest of the world thinks that we believe in and we stand for. No matter how many hundreds of thousands of people didn't believe in that, when we go to the negative, it makes it seem like, hey, when you go deal with Youngstown, they build big rats in front of it, in in front of your company, and they protest you, and they just make your life miserable when they disagree with you. I mean, we're teaching the kids to do that. When hey, when you disagree with something, go blackmail them, go leverage them, go walk right out of school instead of sitting down, intellectually compromising with people, and you either persuade or you coerce, and we are a community of coercion. We want to wrap your hands up so tight and make you do something rather than have an intellectual debate with you and convince you. Okay, I want you to convince. I want you to be smart. I want you to put the energy into trying to say, hey, I believe in this, and I want you to consider it. But if they don't consider it, you're okay with that too, because all you can bring to the table is the truth. Your truth is no better than anybody else. And I'm telling you, this is all about perspective. A business guy like me looks at the perspective, and it makes it harder for the next thing that comes to town. Because now they talk to people and you have a reputation. What do you want our reputation to be? You want to come and do something in Youngstown? How? Hell no. I'm going to go somewhere where when I come to town, they're cutting ribbons and throwing confetti and making my life easier. And I want to reward those people. But when you come to town, I mean, look, man, I didn't want to go the whole rant, right? But I want to tell you that we got to think through what we're willing to do and what our attitude is carrying into do those things. So 330-729-9977 is the phone number. I'll settle down for a couple minutes. Let's talk to Willie, see if Willie has to say. You're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
You made a good speech here, man.
Thank you.
Hey, I put a disc in my CD player, and nothing happens with Windows 10.
Okay, so you go ahead.
Used to be I'd throw the disc in and it'd come up. I use Windows Media Player. It can't seem to locate it now.
Well, here's my response. There's a thing called auto run, and it's an option that you can put on your hardware so that when you put a disk in there, that it automatically runs. Now, what they stopped doing is there was a lot of viruses that would take advantage of that auto run feature. So I'm pretty sure they disabled it by default, so it wouldn't, you take a CDR and you put it in there, that auto run might infect your computer off the get-go. So what you I won't recommend that you actually turn auto run back on, but you can go to the disk, right-click on it, and tell it to run the auto run command individually, but don't do it by default because that's, like I said, those virus makers take advantage of that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you much.
Thank you, Willie. Appreciate it. We're just talking about is in the operating system, starting with Windows 98, I believe, all the way through that when you put a DVD or whatever, it automatically starts spinning, right? But when we got the ability to start writing CDs, that, when you had a virus or had an infected deal, you didn't want somebody to just put a disk in there and be able to run it. Because from a security standpoint, let's just say you locked down the administrative controls and you didn't want people to launch software. Well, if auto run was on by default, you can thwart the security controls by just putting in a CD and then stuff starts playing. So, all right, 330-729-9977. Let's go to Rob next. Rob, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show.
You could grow corn there, okay?
All right, so I will put you back on hold, Rob. All right, so 330-729-9977. If you'd like to text me, 333-1570 is the texting line, and I will read those throughout the show today. I'm telling you, we had an amazing couple weeks here with as far as meeting small business owners and counseling and sort of giving some advice and mentoring. And some of the stuff that we came up with were the taking advantage of how social media works for brick and mortar businesses, right? So I want to take some time in the show, and I know a lot of you out there are business owners. I want to give you some development insight into what you should be doing on the social media side, because it's daunting a little bit when you don't know where to start and what to do. I think Rob's back on, so let me go back to him. Rob, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hi, Joe.
Hi.
What an excellent narrative you just laid out. I know you got a little carried away there maybe, and I know it's not a political show, but you laid it on the line. For all of us out here trying to make a little business into a big business, into a better business, and help other people, you sure did say it better than I ever could.
Well, thank you, Rob. I appreciate it. You're a business owner, I'm assuming?
Well, just into construction, but why and when are the 99% of us going to speak up and let the 1% know that we don't need their little squawky input on the 6 o'clock news anymore.
Yep, Rob, let me put you on hold. I'm going to go off to a break. I'll come back with your call. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Here's some great MVSN offers.
Achieve your goals at Kelly Pavlik's My Gym. Whether you want to lose weight, get back in shape, or looking to excel in your sport, My Gym has the experience, classes, and equipment to help you succeed.
Train like a champion at My Gym.
My Gym Fitness Center, located between the Circle and Firestone Park, Columbiana.
Handyman Supply of Niles, your local Ace Hardware store, is the place to go for everything inside and outside of your home. They even have pool and boating supplies. And their great staff has the knowledge and training to give you the expert advice you're looking for. Handyman Supply, McKinley Heights in Niles.
Woolham Chevrolet always has over 80 clean, reliable used cars, trucks, and SUVs for work or for your family. At Woolham, you don't pay more, you get more. Woolham Chevrolet, Cortland, Ohio, the dealer that wants to earn your business.
From burgers and steaks to ribs and fish, the Shale Tavern and Grill has something delicious for everyone. And each weekday, enjoy great specials including our famous prime rib on our beautiful outdoor patio. The Shale Tavern and Grill, just off Route 11 in Lisbon, only 15 minutes from Route 224 in Canfield.
Flying out of the Pittsburgh airport, visit Air Marino Airport Parking for valet airport parking and free shuttle transportation. Every day, all for just $6.50 a day, $44.95 first week. I-376 exit 50 to Floggerty Road. For more information, visit airmarino.com.
Career politician Mary Taylor, busted by the press for lying about Mike DeWine. That's not all she lies about. Taylor claims she's conservative, but she refused to endorse Donald Trump for president. She supported Obamacare's Medicaid expansion, then lied about it. And Taylor repeatedly used your tax dollars to benefit her family business. Not conservative, not trustworthy. That's Mary Taylor.
Mike DeWine is the proven conservative for governor. As Ohio's Attorney General, DeWine is cracking down on illegal immigration and getting tough on sanctuary cities. He supports President Trump's border wall and is fighting in court for the Trump travel ban that keeps us safe. And Mike DeWine is the undisputed leader protecting life. Ohio Right to Life endorsed Mike DeWine.
Not Mary Taylor.
Mike DeWine, rock-solid conservative for governor.
Paid for by DeWine Houston for Ohio, Jennifer Best, Treasurer.
Great planting beds start with fresh mulch from Altier's Home and Garden Center. Start with Altier's very popular natural double shredded brown mulch or their color enhanced double shredded mulch in black, brown, and red tones. All can be enhanced with any of Altier's decorative stone. And don't forget the play area. Altier's has playground mulch. Remember, too, at Altier's, haul the mulch yourself or ask about same-day delivery. Call today, get it today. Altier's Home and Garden Center, South Avenue at the corner of McClurg Road in Boardman.
Four Seasons Flea Market at 3000 McCartney Road, open every Wednesday and Sunday from 8 till 4 with close to 1,000 small businesses under one roof, all offering something different like fresh produce, baked goods, fresh flowers, sports memorabilia, masseuse and palm reader, or how about knives and more for the outdoorsman. Four Seasons Flea Market offers homemade oils and scents plus T-shirts and pet items for Christmas. There's so much to see, you just have to stop by. Four Seasons Flea Market, McCartney Road in Camel.
Real stories of families in need. Helped by Congressman Bill Johnson.
My name is Sharon. My husband and I live in Columbiana, Ohio, which is in Bill Johnson's district. My son Joshua was a typical high school student. Joshua came to us and said he wanted to join the military. He wanted to be a pilot. I knew Bill Johnson had been in the Air Force. He was very willing to sit down with Josh and give him information. He became a mentor. Bill encouraged Josh to become an Air Force pilot, and he did. Josh even invited Congressman Johnson to be a speaker at his commissioning ceremony. Now Josh is a B-52 pilot and just returned from deployment in the Persian Gulf. Joshua's career path looks good right now. I don't know what we would have done without Bill Johnson.
I'm Bill Johnson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Johnson for Congress and authorized by Bill Johnson.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using our intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
It's Ron Verb. It's back. The Boardman Subaru home run payoff inning. We'll pick the caller, and if a tri-player hits a home run in the inning you played, then you'll win a pair of tickets to a selected Indians game. It's all brought to you by the good folks at Boardman Subaru.
It's 54.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and this is on Saturday. We get to talk about things that are happening in the tech world, a little bit of a business show. We can talk about just about anything that interests me as your host, and the phone lines are always open to you all show long, so if you want to contribute or bring up a topic, as long as it's entertaining and interesting, I will entertain just about anything. 330-729-9977. You can also text me throughout the program, and I will read those texts online on the air here, and do my best to sort of add to them and make a conversation out of them. That way, if you have a question, then we get to add a little bit of our own context. So whether or not you call or text, we sort of use what you just said and make it a teaching moment where everybody else out there listening can not only do you get helped with the immediate problem or question, but everybody else gets to learn something that they might not have. In our audience, there are people from day one users all the way up to, advanced users. And so whenever we need something, we need help answering a question or whatever, all of our people are really good about if I don't know the answer or I've got to look it up, they call and participate. So the amazing part of the show is there's an immense amount of intelligence that comes through these airwaves. All of these shows, I'm telling you, from the morning on Saturday all the way through the day, there are experts that come on the radio and they teach. And that's the beautiful thing about this medium for radio is that we get to educate you at the same time where, you get to, we all want to be independent. Right? We all want to know more than we know. So we have a whole host of experts that know pretty much everything that you'd really like to know. And then you get to tinker, and once a week you get to ask your questions about what you feel like getting, involved with next. And that's a beautiful cycle because it spawns sort of the experimentation with technology. So all of the tech companies that I know of started out not knowing anything, and they build a company around the experimenting of solving problems and solutions. If you go back in history and look at what Google was in the beginning and Facebook was in the beginning and Amazon, all of them were fledgling companies that kept reinventing themselves and making what they do better. We're in the information age, and still, to this day, it is still hard to get in. I'm not going to say it's hard. It's easy to get to information, but it's hard to then disseminate good information from bad. So you can see in the information age, we still have a ways to go because you put this master control computer in front of us that can get you to every piece of information there. And what does the populace do with it? We entertain ourselves and we drain our brain of intelligence, right? We always find a way to find the most destructive uses for tools that could make us brilliant beyond the pale. And we find a way to make it so that we're not using it to its capacity. I don't know what it is. I'm not complaining. It's just, it gives us, the rest of us that are trying, we have these lots of outlets to help one another out and to, create relationships and cooperate on common interests. So it's I've always loved this meeting. I really am thankful that I'm given the opportunity to talk to you on Saturdays. So, Amy, we're going to come back to you as soon as we come back from this break. And Irvin, we're going to also come back to you. So stay out there with me. If you guys want to get up on the line, 330-729-9977. You can text me at 333-1570. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Here's what's happening in the Valley. Bond is set for a Warren G. Harding staffer charged with sexual battery. Bond set at $15,000 for a former intervention specialist, Eric Klein. Klein was arrested Thursday on sexual battery charges. After an investigation, the sexual misconduct involved a 16-year-old back on March 14th. TJX is pulling out of Lordstown for the Home Goods facility. 27 First News reports residents felt the new facility would be better placed at a different location. Mayor Arno Hill supported the facility in Lordstown and says he's still willing to work with the company. A Youngstown couple has been sentenced in the death of a 16-month-old child. Joshua Ishad and Sarah Loth pleaded guilty of reckless homicide and child endangerment. According to Youngstown police, the child died from exposure to the drug carfentanil back in July. From the all-new and 2018 Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2.
Hey guys, what puts a bigger smile on your face than driving around in a clean, older four-wheel drive truck? Imagine pulling into the hardware store in that lifted 85 Chevy K20, or getting all the thumbs up driving down the road in that 76 F-250 Highboy. This is Joe Fire from Fireball Motors. We sell those trucks. We specialize in non-rusty West Coast trucks from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that are under 10 grand. We are located on Route 422, just an eighth mile from the PA border, or online at fireballtrucks.com. And remember, Fireball means four-wheel drive.
Tune in every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for the Mahoning Valley Sportsman Show, hosted by Mike Craig, proudly brought to you by Bolt Construction. Over 35 years of doing things right in the gas and oil industry and airport gathering systems. Online at boltconstruction.cc.
Great planting beds start with fresh mulch from Altier's Home and Garden Center. Start with Altier's very popular natural double shredded brown mulch or their color enhanced double shredded mulch in black, brown, and red tones. All can be enhanced with any of Altier's decorative stone. And don't forget the play area. Altier's has playground mulch. Remember, too, at Altier's, haul the mulch yourself or ask about same-day delivery. Call today, get it today. Altier's Home and Garden Center, South Avenue at the corner of McClurg Road in Boardman.
Hi, my name's Augie Toom from Toom's Bicycle Shop in Warren, Ohio, Warren's only Trek dealer. For 2018, Trek has come out with a new model called the Trek Verve Plus. It's a power-assisted bike that gives you 4 levels of power assist. We'll have every color, every frame size in stock, ready to go. Take it for a test ride. You will be amazed at what the bike does. Come and see us at Toom's Bike Shop, 330 West Market Street, Warren, Ohio, THUMMS.com.
Now, Toby Keith should have been a Cowboy Tour 25.
I should have been a cowboy.
Presented by Ford F-Series.
Learn to roll around. Solo cup.
September 3rd at the Canfield Fair.
How do you like me now?
Toby Keith.
Let's get for my man.
Should have been a Cowboy Tour 25.
Brought to you courtesy of the Red Wine.
On sale now. Buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Real stories of families in need. Helped by Congressman Bill Johnson.
My name is Sharon. My husband and I live in Columbiana, Ohio, which is in Bill Johnson's district. My son Joshua was a typical high school student. Joshua came to us and said he wanted to join the military. He wanted to be a pilot. I knew Bill Johnson had been in the Air Force. He was very willing to sit down with Josh and give him information. He became a mentor. Bill encouraged Josh to become an Air Force pilot, and he did. Josh even invited Congressman Johnson to be a speaker at his commissioning ceremony. Now Josh is a B-52 pilot and just returned from deployment in the Persian Gulf. Joshua's career path looks good right now. I don't know what we would have done without Bill Johnson.
I'm Bill Johnson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Johnson for Congress and authorized by Bill Johnson.
Guess what? Right now is the perfect time to tackle those home projects you've been putting off. So come summertime, you can just sit back and relax. Home Advisor can help get you started. Home Advisor matches you to the right pro for the job in seconds. You can read reviews and even book appointments online. Home Advisor can help with any home project, big or small, painting, plumbing, even remodeling. Find a great pro now before the busy season hits. Go to homeadvisor.com or download the free app.
Home Advisor.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
My good friends, you have heard me wax eloquently for years now about Mahindra, the world's #1 selling tractor. So when you hear Mahindra, I'm sure a hardworking, reliable, and bright red tractor is the first thing that comes to mind. But my good friends at Mahindra have an all-new utility vehicle, too. It's called the Mahindra Retriever, and it's built from the ground up right here in America. And listen to these specs. 83 horsepower engine, 60 mile per hour top speed, 2,500 pounds of towing capacity, and a 3-year warranty. So hurry in, see your Mahindra dealer for a test drive, or learn more about Mahindra tractors and the new Retriever at MahindraUSA.com.
Take advantage of rock-bottom prices and test drive a Mahindra today at Mahindra of Massillon or visit ProgressiveMahindra.com. That's ProgressiveMahindra.com. MahidraOfMassalon.com.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's. Cool your home this summer. Call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Skies becoming cloudy throughout this afternoon, a high in the mid-50s. Tonight, cloudy, a low 30. Sunshine for Sunday with a high 60. Monday, mostly sunny with a high 67.
It's 54. 570 WKBN.com, powered by Donnell Ford and DonnellFord.com, where price sells cars and great service keeps customers.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. If you want to get on the phone lines, 330-729-9977. We can talk about anything that's happening in the tech world, things that are interesting, cool, and groundbreaking. Want to talk about some business stuff, too. Amy's been hanging on the line for a little while, so let's go right out to Amy first. Amy, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
Sure.
Nobody needs more help with computers or cell phones or streaming. But may I respond to your earlier thoughts?
Yeah, go ahead.
Nothing sillier than golf courses with live game and cities. So I'm thinking fill up your golf courses with factories. Replace the live game with factories, vertical factories in the city, and stay out of my green space. I love looking at the stars.
All right. Well, if we got to rope off the whole world and make it just customized for our own enjoyment, that's pretty much where that defensive thing came in a little bit earlier, where if you go selfless and you basically say, okay, well, I love this community enough to be able to make little sacrifices so that down the road the community can support me and my family and the next generation and so on and so forth. The marketplace has its own guidance system. We as purchasers get to decide what happens. So collectively, if we carry enough principles with us, then we can take those principles and we can audit the whole environment around us. If it gets bad and toxic, that the byproduct is that we see lots of crappy stuff around us and a very terrible place to live in. But it's through us, you know, the 99% of people, if we are vocal about it and we're loud about it and we're insistent upon it, we can shape the culture and the spaces around us, not just for our benefit, but for the benefit of everyone else around us. So where I can appreciate that everybody wants their own green spaces and everybody, you know, get out of my town, get off my lawn, whatever. Okay, well, that's not going to work for the best of us or the rest of us. And so what we're going to need to key in on is we're going to have selfless principles that lift all of us up and our communities up and provide jobs. Because I'm telling you, that project that was going out in Lordstown, there might have been a guy out there that was really thinking that his life was going to change if he can claim one of those jobs. And to remove that hope because somebody's worried about their green spaces, what I'm talking about, the selfish identity that comes along with this huge race to the bottom that we have in store for ourselves. And I said I wouldn't start this whole conversation if I didn't have an opinion on what we do from here. The rest of the people that have a voice of optimism, that want to get to better things on the other side of this, and we're all willing to take a little bit of sacrifice in order to get us there without asking what's in it for me, right? All of us, when we're a little bit louder than the rest, then we get to win in this way. But like I said, and I will share after this next caller, I will kind of share my opinion about what we do, what that actually means from a practical standpoint, the rest of us in this civilization, what we could really do, right? Not just in theory, but start in practice supporting our community through our actions and activities. And that means you getting yourself on the hook instead of just being passionate and calling on the radio and holding signs up. There are the actual things you can do. And I want all of our students out there to know when you want to make change in your community, you don't hold tantrum parties and you don't try to blackmail and leverage people to do things your way, right? That is coercion, and I don't believe in anything about it. If my ideas are better than yours, I can sell them to you, I can convince you, and you can get on my team, right? I don't need coercion in order to make you do what I want to do, and I think this area is too bred into the coercion mindset. So I'm gonna basically not only I'm gonna do it myself. I'm going to persuade the whole area that there's a better way to do this. I'm going to inspire. So I'm going to bring a whole lot of people, and I'm going to inspire them to do the same thing that I'm going to do. I don't care about what's in it for me. right? That's way down the road. This area is going to take care of me because I'm taking care of this area. So I apologize for going down that path more than once, but I just want to let you know that I'm impassioned. When we make a big mistake like this and there's nobody saying this, I got to say it because, you take this, it's almost like a political approach. Nobody wants to say what really needs to be said because of this attitude. It's a minority attitude. Okay, nobody really believes that we should just make it happy for us and screw everybody else. Nobody believes that. But you can see the practice as we cover it like it's the normal. That's no way. I'm not on board with that. I've been working side by side with people in Youngstown that the whole time, they've worked years on end putting their own money and own time into trying to promote things that don't directly benefit them. I've watched selflessness happen, and there's no good reason why. I don't see anybody cordoning it off. I take that back. I sat on a board one time, and it was a board where it was a public event, and everybody who was on the board was donating their time. An accountant guy walked up to the board and said, I'm just curious what's in it for me. And that was the first guy I've ever heard. Like, everybody at the table was like, how come that didn't occur to any of the rest of us to find out if we were getting paid or we were going to get sponsorship or we were going to get indirect sales from it? Well, why is this guy only showing up to the table if he can figure out what's in it for him? Well, that was the attitude that on that day, my stomach turned a little bit. Like, there's a lot of those people out there, and they're really loud, and they make the rest of us doubt ourselves. Like, if he's bringing it up, we must be, we're going to get taken advantage of if we don't also cordon out our sacred space and push everybody who doesn't agree with us, off our lawn. But no, that's the wrong way. There are more of us that are more open and more accommodating and more kind, because what we need to do, it needs to be achieved. It's not going to happen naturally, and especially if the attitude that we carry into it is a negative, we're going to get tons and tons, trains full of negative, as long as that's what it is. We want selfishness. You put selfishness out there, and you're going to get a whole lot of selfishness, and then you'll have reason to be selfish. Because when you play that game with someone, and you show them that someone came at you with open arms, willing to share, and then you put down the selfish vibe, right? They're going to get selfish right back at you, because that's the name of the game. That's how it works. So I think, I don't know. I don't know why I went down there again. 330-729-9977. Let's go to Irvin. Irvin, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hello. I've been waiting to say this, but since you started, let me quickly say this about this, then I'll tell you about the computer. Well stated what you said, and I don't have any skins in this game. I have 4 daughters, and all of them are working. One's a parole officer. One works for the school system. One works for the VA, which he was in the Desert Storm War. And I'm retired. My wife's retired from Lordstown. And I also have an ex-wife who had 8 years, and I don't know if she's on disability or what. But anyway, and I also got 15 people jobs out there. But let me tell you about the computer now.
Sure.
I agree with everything you said.
Thank you.
And I would like to say, when the truck plant was there, that place was filled with cars. I don't know what they're talking about, if traffic's going to be that bad. And there was also a gas station down there I used to stop at. They had 5 or 6 trucks there all the time. But anyway, let me tell you about the computer. I had an HP with Vista I got in 2008. I cannot get this. I got U-verse with AT&T. I cannot get AT&T.net to come back on now. It brings up Google, and I go to Bing of Microsoft, and I get pictures and everything, but I don't know what. And when I call AT&T, which I'm paying $30 a month for this thing, through the phone bill or whatever. But anyway, when I go to them and I talk to them, I talk to somebody that can't even hardly talk English, and I've talked to them 3 times, and I still haven't gotten anything out of them of how to get this thing back so I can go to AT&T. I want to listen to the music, look at the stock report, listen to the bar, and see what's going on in the world. That's all I want to do with the computer. I've never been on Facebook or anything. Can you get on my computer from where you are? I had a friend who used to do this with PC Anywhere by Norton. You follow me?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we do remote support. So if you would call our office, and they will be open on Monday, so you'll have to do this with the beginning of the week. 330-259-7278.
I'll get the number. And then when you give them numbers out, would you go a little bit slower?
You know what? I sure will.
I can't keep up. I used to be a secretary. But gee, I mean, you guys read those numbers off like, like we're mechanics or we got a tape recorder and can read them back.
At least once a week, I am yelled at for talking too fast. So, yes, I will slow down the next time around, Irvin.
Okay. Okay, but that's all. Hey, man, you're doing a good job, and thanks for that speech. I wish they could get that thing out there just for the sake of people having jobs, because I know when I was there, I got a lot of people jobs out there, and got my ex-wife a job out there, even though we were divorced about 7 years. Anyway, that's all. I just wanted to holler at you and tell you that.
All right,
Thank you,
awesome.
thank you.
So glad you're out there, and I will be sure to slow down on those numbers.
I was going to say, in your next life, I could just picture you're going to be an auctioneer.
No doubt, no doubt.
Because you can rattle those numbers quick.
All right, slowing down. Youngstown computer number is this. So get a piece of paper out, stick it on the side of your computer. 330-259-7278. Nice and slow. 330-259-7278. And even if you don't need our services right now, write that number down, stick it on the side of your computer, because when something should occur, or if something should occur, we'd really appreciate it if you gave us that call when that happens. And yes, we do remote support, so that if you want us to take over your computer and make a change and do some fixing, I guess 90% of the functions we can do from a remote session. Big cleanups and big, repair jobs can only be done on bench or on site. But yeah, a lot of remote stuff can happen. Call our office, 330-259-7278. And here's a text message that came in. That TJX facility could have been an upswing for the Ohio PA area. We have access to major highways, cheap real estate. The pollution, in quotes, wouldn't have been 1/10 of that from steel mills in their prime. Only this area would reject growth. That's bad coming from a 28-year-old. And, I agree with you, and all of those sentiments are correct. But here's what you don't want to do, though. You don't want to pit the objectors versus the people who are in progress. You don't want to make a villain of one of the two, because you're doing more of the same, which you're making someone an enemy, and what this area needs is cooperation. So let's just say that, my kid wanted to set up a lemonade stand in the middle of a cul-de-sac. Right? You're going to have people who are like, oh, that's awesome. He's going to sell stuff, and he's going to be able to learn about business and whatever. Right? Well, somebody in the neighborhood is going to complain that he's not paying taxes, and he's causing a play, in the middle of where I want to run and whatever. So if you want to object and you want to gripe and bitch about something, you could bitch about anything. I mean, if you can bitch about a lemonade stand, you can bitch about a big plant that's manufacturing. You couple with that with you don't have any interest in it. It doesn't benefit you directly. And of course, you're going to find ways to make, your opinion more dramatic, just like the crash on the side of the road. Everybody pays attention to you when you gripe. So the news comes out and they talk to you, and that even feeds the fire more. So I want to dissuade to all of you from making anybody, no matter if you agree or disagree with them, a villain, somebody that let's say, okay, everybody's got information in their head. I'm a sponge. So even if you disagree, I go introspective. If you agree with me, I go introspective. You know what happens when you go introspective? You learn. And then you could take 2 ends of a pendulum swing, and you can have a compromise between two that takes both into consideration. When we lose the ability to compromise with people, you basically have civil war of ideas between people. In the information age, we have everything at our disposal. All we need to do is connect with one another so that we can make big things happen, or else you get these little squabbles that just destroy things, right? We need building. We need cooperation. We need things to come out of the ashes, and not make it so that if I'm all wrong, like if you don't go along with my ideas, I'm going to hate you and I'm going to sabotage everything that you do. That's what we have. We have this bipolar, polarization, right? That everybody is either in love with something, right? They're my team, or I hate you and you're the other team. And this football mentality between the two makes it so everything has to have a winner and a loser. Well, in my game, guess what happens? Through persuasion, sometimes you win, and sometimes you have to pick up another idea, right? You go on to the next one. So the TGX pulled out. You know what we get away from this is we screwed up. We did the wrong thing. We carried the wrong attitude. We promoted the wrong ideas. So whoever's to blame, I don't care. We just did it wrong last time. The next time, someone's going to come to town, and we got to learn that if we approach this one like we did, what did we get out of it? Nothing, right? We got to be right, and we got to sabotage somebody else's good fortune. So screw that. No more of that. I'm I'm not going to, at the beginning of this whole support Youngstown thing, I sent lots of letters to media people that say, hey, I'd really like to post your story, but it's far too negative. Can you really start writing some stuff that I can post? Because all you're doing is chopping down the people and the places that I'm trying to build up. So every story that comes out has a negative flavor to it. I can't post half the stuff that you send at me because it's just so terrible. So why, if I'm trying to let people know what's going on in Youngstown and you're trying to let people know that, Youngstown's terrible. So I think, I don't know that I made any progress with them, but maybe some editor, maybe some writer said, you know what? Yeah, I'm addicted to the drama that comes with bad things happening, and I, as a leader, have the ability to make things better just by having a better attitude carrying it into my stories. So again, sorry, I'm getting all wound up. 330-729-9977. If you want to text me, 333-1570. I think we'll talk about computers somewhere in this show. All right, you're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WK, and I'll be right back.
Oh, another Market Street pothole. That sounded expensive.
Better get to Boardman Nissan between now and the end of April for their tire special. Buy 3, get 1 for $1, and they'll throw in free lifetime tire rotation and free 2-year road hazard coverage on all 4 tires. Lots of brands of tires available. And don't forget, Boardman Nissan services virtually all makes and models.
Well, that sounds like a one-of-a-kind deal. When can I schedule an appointment?
Actually, you don't have to. Just stop in and speak with one of their reps today. And judging by that sound, you don't have much time.
I better get to Boardman Nissan.
You can't miss the potholes, so you definitely don't want to miss this deal. Head down to Boardman Nissan today and enjoy a top-notch dealership experience. Buy 3, get 1 for $1, and they'll throw in free lifetime tire rotation and free 2-year road hazard coverage on all 4 tires. Boardman Nissan, 7809 Market Street in Boardman.
Get everything you need for your projects during Menards Spring Catalog Sale. Menards has the largest selection of outdoor lumber. Menards pressure-treated premium cedar tone decking has double the preservative and is 15% thicker than others' standard pressure-treated decking. 8-foot lengths are only $6.99 each. 6 additional sizes are also on sale. Get Spring Catalog savings now through April 29th. Plus, Menards gift cards are perfect for Mother's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Career politician Mary Taylor, busted by the press for lying about Mike DeWine. That's not all she lies about. Taylor claims she's conservative, but she refused to endorse Donald Trump for president. She supported Obamacare's Medicaid expansion, then lied about it. And Taylor repeatedly used your tax dollars to benefit her family business. Not conservative, not trustworthy. That's Mary Taylor.
Mike DeWine is the proven conservative for governor. As Ohio's Attorney General, DeWine is cracking down on illegal immigration and getting tough on sanctuary cities. He supports President Trump's border wall and is fighting in court for the Trump travel ban that keeps us safe. And Mike DeWine is the undisputed leader protecting life. Ohio Right to Life endorsed Mike DeWine.
Not Mary Taylor.
Mike DeWine, rock-solid conservative for governor.
Paid for by DeWine Houston for Ohio, Jennifer Best, Treasurer.
Hey people, are you paying attention? Are you looking for a truck to use like a truck? Then why would you spend big money on a new one and beat the out of it? This is Joe Fire from Fireball Motors. Be smarter and spend less money on a better truck. We specialize in non-rusty West Coast trucks from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that are under 10 grand. We are located on Route 422, just an 1/8 mile from the PA border, or online at fireballtrucks.com. And remember, Fireball means 4-wheel drive.
Great planting beds start with fresh mulch from Altier's Home and Garden Center. Start with Altier's very popular natural double shredded brown mulch or their color enhanced double shredded mulch in black, brown, and red tones. All can be enhanced with any of Altier's decorative stone. And don't forget the play area. Altier's has playground mulch. Remember, too, at Altier's, haul the mulch yourself or ask about same-day delivery. Call today, get it today. Altier's Home and Garden Center, South Avenue at the corner of McClurg Road in Boardman.
Hi, my name's Augie Toom from Toom's Bicycle Shop in Warren, Ohio, Warren's only Trek dealer. For 2018, Trek has come out with a new model called the Trek Verve Plus. It's a power-assisted bike that gives you 4 levels of power assist. We'll have every color, every frame size in stock, ready to go. Take it for a test ride. You will be amazed at what the bike does. Come and see us at Toombs Bike Shop, 330 West Market Street, Warren, Ohio, THUMMS.com.
Hi, this is Bob Davis with Fairway Ford in Canfield. We have an unbelievable truck inventory with over 400 F-150s and Super Duties available. We have STXs, XLTs, Lariats, King Ranches, Platinums, and Limiteds. Your number one F-150 dealer in the region, including Ohio and Pennsylvania, is Fairway Ford, your Ford truck headquarters. And we pay top dollar for your trade-ins. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Hey, there's a reason I've been telling you about Blinds.com for years. They are simply the best. And you know what? So many of you have listened. And here's what a Blinds.com customer from Los Angeles had to say. Quote, I heard of Blinds.com on Sean Hannity's program, so I called. Now, the salesperson was patient, even texting me clearer photos of the two fabrics that I was considering. Very happy, and the drapes, they look perfect. Now, go to Blinds.com to find the perfect blind shade, shutters, or drapes, and upgrade your home for less than almost any other home improvement. You'll get free samples, free shipping, free design consultation, and they'll guide you through the installation process step by step. So find out for yourself why over 20 million Americans have trusted Blinds.com to upgrade their home, making Blinds.com the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. And now through April the 22nd, you get a guaranteed 20% off when you go to Blinds.com/Hannity. That's Blinds.com/Hannity. Rules, restrictions apply.
Introducing free iHeartRadio playlists, perfect for any moment. iHeartRadio's hardworking team of music lovers has hand-curated thousands of playlists to fit any mood or activity. And now we're sharing them with you. Need to chill? There's a playlist for that. Need that hairband vibe? There's a free playlist for that. Thousands of playlists perfect for whatever life throws your way. Try it now. iHeartRadio. All your favorite music. All your favorite stations. All free.
It's 54.
All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. We got a feisty version of the computer show, and we're talking all about things that are happening in tech and in business, entrepreneurs, and whatnot. I did want to mention that I went down and sampled some of the downtown stuff. Youngstown Flea is happening downtown. And so if you have, I think it's open until 4. So if you haven't yet done, go support our friend Derek McDowell. He's one of those guys who's putting himself on the line and selflessly promoting and pushing things to happen in downtown. I went down there and made sure that I walked up, and thanked the vendors for doing what they do. These are small entrepreneurs, everything from, crafty items to, Two Hot Mamas was down there. And I met them a couple months ago. They went to the Sundown Rundown. And if you don't know what Sundown is, it's basically a Shark Tank that we host here in Youngstown. But they're down there. So if you haven't done so, head down to the Youngstown Flea. They're set up next to Covelli Center, and they're open until 4. So go down and check out it's flea market type of stuff, but the tent, the people that are set up are amazing. Good stuff down there. I bought coffee and food and all that kind of stuff. All right, we're going to come back after these breaks. If you want to call 330-7299, you're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Congratulations! You just won a 7-day cruise, all expenses paid.
7-day cruise? Nobody just wins a 7-day cruise. Sorry, but being at home doesn't make me stupid. And the vacations on TV are so expensive. But I do think it would be nice to just get away for a moment. Thank goodness I found iPlay.com. Once I downloaded the application to my PC, I found a whole new world of adventures. I can play over 2,500 games like Paris Mysteries, Las Vegas Casino, and Lost Lands, all for a low monthly subscription with no extra fees. I can travel the world from right here at home, and I don't have to think about ridiculous scams or costly vacations. iPlay.com is free to download and easy to use. I deserve to have some fun, and now I do every day on iPlay.com. If you want to get away and have some fun like me, download iPlay to your PC and start your own home adventure right now.
Time is 2 o'clock. For antique oak flooring, go to BairdBrothers.com. This is News Radio 570 WKBN, Youngstown.
From ABC News, I'm Daria Albinger. Barbara Bush is heading to her final resting place. A hearse carrying the body of the former First Lady has now left an Episcopal church in Houston. ABC's Amy Robach with more on the trip that Barbara Bush and her family are now making.
About 96 miles northwest of the Houston area to College Station, where First Lady Barbara Bush will be laid to rest there at her husband's library, the George Bush Library, alongside her daughter Robin, who passed away just before turning 4.
Earlier today, about 1,500 people said a final farewell to Mrs. Bush. Her son, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, giving the eulogy.
The last time I was with her, I asked her about dying. Was she ready to go? Was she sad? Without missing a beat, she said, "Jeb, I believe in Jesus, and he is my Savior. I don't want to leave your dad, but I know I'll be in a beautiful place."
And her longtime friend, Susan Garrett Baker, talked about Mrs. Bush's strength in keeping her family together.
Barbara, the tough but loving enforcer, was the secret sauce of this extraordinary family.
Among those who attended the service, First Lady Melania Trump, along with Presidents Obama and Clinton and their wives. President Trump at Mar-a-Lago watched the service on TV. A surprise announcement from North Korea. It's ending nukes testing.
President Trump reacted on Twitter, writing, "This is very good news for North Korea and the world. Big progress. Look forward to our summit." On Wednesday, ahead of next week's summit between the two Koreas, Trump said he's willing to walk away from his talks with Kim, planned for late May, early June.
If the meeting when I'm there is not fruitful, I will respectfully leave.
South Korea welcomed the announcement from the North, calling it meaningful.
ABC's Kenneth Moten. A fact-finding team has reached Douma, Syria, site of a suspected chemical weapons attack at the hands of regime leader Bashar al-Assad. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's what's happening in the Valley. Bond is set for a Warren G. Harding staffer charged with sexual battery. Bond set at $15,000 for a former intervention specialist, Eric Klein. Klein was arrested Thursday on sexual battery charges. After an investigation, the sexual misconduct involved a 16-year-old back on March 14th. TJX is pulling out of Lordstown for the Home Goods facility. 27 First News reports residents felt the new facility would be better placed at a different location. Mayor Arno Hill supported the facility in Lordstown and says he's still willing to work with the company. A Youngstown couple has been sentenced in the death of a 16-month-old child. Joshua Ishad and Sarah Loth pleaded guilty of reckless homicide and child endangerment. According to Youngstown police, the child died from exposure to the drug carfentanil back in July. From the all-new and 2018 Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 2:30. Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's.
If you are tired for no reason, it may be a vitamin D deficiency. Tune in Sunday morning, 8:30. Find out the solution. Sunday morning, 8:30, 570 WKBN.
Stifel is a full-service firm offering a wide range of investment vehicles and services. Stifel has 5 offices in the Valley with experienced advisors assisting you. For more information, visit stifel.com or call 330-744-4351. Stifel Nicholas & Company, Incorporated.
When you're hiring, you don't want to sort through dozens of irrelevant resumes. You want an efficient way to get to a short list of qualified candidates. That's why you need Indeed.com. Post a job in minutes. Set up screener questions based on your job requirements. Then zero in on qualified candidates using our intuitive online dashboard. Discover why 3 million businesses use Indeed for hiring. Post a job today at Indeed.com/hire. Search for greatness. Search Indeed.
At Fairway Ford in Canfield, with our fully transparent sales process, there's no running back and forth to the mystery boss behind the door. Come see us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Flying out of the Pittsburgh airport, visit Air Marino Airport Parking for valet airport parking and free shuttle transportation. Every day, all for just $6.50 a day, $44.95 first week. I-376 exit 50 to Floggerty Road. For more information, visit airmarino.com.
Hi, Don Perkins from A1 Concrete Leveling and Foundation Repair here. Has unpredictable freeze-thaw winter weather wreaked havoc on your concrete? Settling, cracking, hollow spots are all signs of voids beneath your concrete. A1 offers a full line of concrete services: raising, leveling, pressure washing, caulking, or replacement. From sidewalks to airport runways, residential, commercial, and industrial solutions. Estimates are free. Call 330-788-2700. Ask about our 0% 12-month same-as-cash program.
Take the short drive to Geneva on the Lake and enjoy Old Firehouse Winery.
Need a furnace and AC checkup? Call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory-authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Skies becoming cloudy throughout this afternoon, a high in the mid-50s. Tonight, cloudy, a low 30. Sunshine for Sunday with a high 60. Monday, mostly sunny with a high 67.
Current temp, 55.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I am Joe Danier, owner of Youngstown Computer, and they let me do this on Saturdays where I get to come and talk in front of this microphone, open up a forum where you, as the listeners out there, can ask questions or pick my brain as we go along. Whatever's interesting to talk about and maybe benefits ourselves, the area, or other people, feel free to bring up to me, and we might make a conversation of it. Again, as I mentioned in the last hour, that these conversations, there are hundreds of people out there that probably want to know the same thing that you're struggling with. So if you have a problem, not only are you being helped, that you can also bring up the questions so that people might not be as bold as you could call and won't call, get helped because of the questions that you bring up. And so the callers really make or break these programs. So 330-729-9977 is the phone number. And I did want to talk about TED. And if you're a millennial or you're under 30, you know what TED is. This is a series of web-based talks that cities might host. And they've started, even before I was involved in the computer industry. And the TED stands for Technology, Entertainment, and Design. And what's intended is that the main TED series basically broadcasts regularly expert speakers and professionals in all kinds of different fields, from artists to developers, technology people, all over. I mean, you hit the spectrum, and there's got people that are expert in that have talked about it. Someone graduated from Girard hosted a TED Talk. I remember watching that a little while ago before I knew a whole lot about it. Now, I want to tell you that Youngstown is getting a TED Talk. It's called TEDx, and these are the sort of the subgroup that cities can host on their own. They're not they're not held by the main group, but they're extended almost like a charter that Youngstown will be allowed to hold one in the TED brand, following the same formatting and encouraged by the what they've established on the main circuit. And so we've got one in September. September 22nd one is coming. So here's one of those examples of, you got two choices. You help support something coming and make a success in spite of any failure that you can pick apart in it, or you can try to sabotage it. So here's your deal. We've got a TED Talk that's coming to Youngstown, Ohio on September 22nd, and I would like to educate everyone in this audience and also anybody in the greater community here that might consider attending the event. They have 18 speakers already lined up. Tomorrow is actually the deadline for speakers. So let's just say you know of someone, or you are someone that has expertise in a given category, and you think that you'd be a really good speaker to inspire, a couple hundred people on a Saturday afternoon. Make sure that you go to the TED Youngstown website and apply. You're going to have to put together a little video representation of what you do, and if you can get it into them within 24 hours, you might be considered to do a TED speech. But what I'd like you to do with this Saturday is I'd like you to visit the TED Facebook page or the social media page and start asking questions, because I really don't know what you don't know about it, right? I can tell you that it's a bunch of speakers, but I don't know if you convert that into why you would want to go see this. So I'll tell you what I like about the TED series. Okay, so the topics are so varied. I'm a sponge for information. So when I go to TED, I have no idea what I'm looking for, but I know I'm going to find something that is intriguing. Okay, and that's what I like about it, is that, and I have my moments when I need to go out and purchase information that I need for a specific cause. And then once a week, I go out and get something that's just out in left field that I didn't even know if I wanted to learn that week. And that's what TED delivers is a lot of very, varied topics that are really interesting, that are held by experts in the field. And I mean, those of you who have ever sat in front of a doctor who's really good at what they do, or a technology guy who's really good at what you do, just sitting and being able to just peek into their brain for a little bit it is invaluable. So for these experts to be coming to Youngstown and 18 of them to choose from on an afternoon is pretty significant. If you're like me, who is a sponge of all kinds of different things, you just don't, it's, like I said, it's invaluable what will be attached to. So if you would all go, who have an interest in this and want to learn a little bit about it, go to the TEDx Youngstown Facebook page. And I am there right now. And it is, let's see, just look for TEDx Youngstown, and you'll be able to pull up the Facebook page, and you can ask questions on there. I'm going to take all the questions that you ask off of that Facebook page, and I'm going to put together sort of like a Q&A. And that way, as we go forward between now and September, I will share the questions that you have, what you want to know, how, like, for instance, if you want to know where it's going to be, well, it's going to be downtown at Dior. How much it's going to be, I'm not sure quite yet, but if that's a question, I'll make sure that we share that. How do you attend? How do you sign up? Well, I started off with the sign up because that's limited. We've got a day to sign up to be a speaker, and then that's done. So that's why I dedicated my breath this week in saying, if you're interested in being a speaker, you got to do it. You got to run. Last call for it is happening this weekend, so go towards it. But the rest of the stuff we can kind of delve into once I know who's going to be speaking and what their specialties are. Then I'll definitely be announcing that and let you guys know the same. But I hope all of you will put that on your calendar and sort of make me a promise that you're not only going to plan on attending the event and making this a success, and also the people who are capable out there of doing sponsorships or, in-kind contributions or anything to help something that, to go down in the city of Youngstown, so that people start writing articles about the city of Youngstown, about these amazing successes. Because that's the only way that we drown out the negativity, is not that we shut them up, right? But we suck all the air out of for the good things, right? But then there's no leftover air, so they're very weak and they're very quiet, right? But if we give them air and we give them energy, then they're just as loud and obnoxious as we are. I want to be obnoxious about successes. I want to be obnoxious about getting on board and making other people's thing. Like, there's nothing in it for me as far as TEDx being successful, right? This has to be something that you, as a representative of a community, want it to be successful, because guess what happens when it's successful? Guess what they're going to write in the newspaper, and what they're going to put on the 6 o'clock news. They're gonna say that Youngstown is a glaring example about when the community gets on board with something, we make it work. Just like the 5-year-old at the lemonade stand. If we want him to be successful, we're gonna find ways of drilling optimism into the deal. All of us can think of things to be, negative about, but let's avoid them. I mean, just ignore the negative side and let's put all of our energy in the positive side and let these things be successes. And that way that energy will carry into more successes, and the amphitheater is going to be successful, and the hotel's going to be successful, and the sports season's going to be successful. We're just going to breed as much optimism into things that go down. And like I said, we're going to start here, with the TEDx. That's a big event, and we're going to knock it out of the park, only because I'm going to insist on it. And anybody who wants to get in my way, I'm just going to roll over you. So that's a promise. I'm all in when it comes to creating jobs, rescuing businesses, and making this environment and the culture better for everybody that comes after me. From the students that graduate from the colleges and the trade schools, I want them to have an optimistic view of what's to come next in Youngstown. Because if all we do is agree with the people that it's been bad for a little while, then all we did was perpetuate what we wanted to avoid, right? So again, I'm back on this topic. Sorry. 330-729-9977. And I sort of hinted that what we can do about getting on that optimistic train and practical uses. And so I gave an example of, I wrote to all, the editors of some of these articles about, let's put a positive spin. And yes, it's rose-colored glasses. It is. I'm not ashamed of that, right? It's just the opposite of what we've been doing forever. So you either have, I can't even say what color glasses you're looking through, but let's do rose-colored glasses for a while and see what happens. See if we find kindness and happiness and cooperation and help. All these virtues of these things that we can do for our fellow man without going into selfish mode. All right. Anyway, 330-729-9977. I did mention also that we want to talk a little bit about harnessing terrible transition, I know, but harnessing social media to be able to use in your brick and mortar business. I talk a lot of these entrepreneurs downtown, and they're now just starting to toy with what they do online, what they put out there to sell stuff, to grow their business. And I will tell you this: I did a Junior Achievement Titan Challenge for the last couple years, and basically you have companies that compete against, kids put these companies together and compete against other kids. Now, my principle in this operation is that one of the variables is how much community support that you do as part of your company. And the first couple of times, the kids were like, well, what does community support have to do anything with building a business? Okay, so when you go around to the baseball fields and you see sponsorships from companies, and you go downtown to the Covelli Center and you see sponsorships by companies, you see the Panerathon, and you see on the back of the shirts the sponsorship from companies. When you see those names over and over and over and over again, you know what that is? Those are companies that aren't advertising to you. You know what they're doing? They're getting involved in the community. They're supporting baseball leagues. They're supporting venues. They're supporting things with their dollars that helps all of this stuff take shape. Because when you max out what you can do to support the community, it has no choice but to send that back your way. And on a long enough timeline, I don't care how long you go, every time I have tried it, I have personal experience that when you write that check, both in time, attitude, posturing, money, anything, it comes back to you. And so I'm going to guarantee you out there that if you put it out to the community and you help, when you're doing your social media, if you embrace the community and try to help other people, and that be your story, you'll inspire other people to do the same thing. And then you have a chance at changing the dynamic of how we interact with each other. I want to see all these businesses out there, instead of just saying, hey, yeah, I have this product, come buy it for me, which doesn't do anything. That's just advertising, right? Write your story. Write something that makes me believe in your product and believe you as a company, and how attached you are to the community and what you're doing for the community. Because the worst thing in the world is now that, this thing went down in Lordstown, I didn't know of anybody being involved in that. I didn't know about what they're doing to support that. Right? I might be invested in the outcome if I knew about how other people were really throwing themselves behind something before it happened. But a lot of this stuff happens and it's nice and secret and quiet, and it's only when it comes out to the public that everybody, the negativity hits. But what if we told our story as it was happening? What if I come on here and tell you that there's a guy downtown named Derek McDowell who's spending a lot of time and energy to try to get activities and events to happen, and he's got objection, he's got things going against it, but you'd never know it if you sat in front of him, because he's taken upon himself to do the positive thing and bring something to the community. And that's what I'm going to tell all of you. Use your social media to tell your story about how you're embracing the community and you're doing things for the community, because everybody who reads that stuff, I want to support people who are like that. When I read on social media that somebody, took their product and they used it for a charitable donation, or that they supported the Panerathon and they're involved in the community, you know what makes me want to do? It wants me to be more involved, and it makes me want to support people who are involved, because I can do both. I'm limited on time, so I can't do all of those things, but I can sure as hell go down to somebody who's supporting the community, do business with them, and guess what ends up happening? I get to support the community by proxy through another company, at the same time buying goods and services from somebody who's involved in the community. And that's what the positive outlook is: supporting people who are doing good things. That's where the marketplace regulates good and bad. We'll have a great community if we support people who are doing things to give back and not worry about what's in it for them, because that will take care of itself. 330-729-9977. All right, a little bit about Youngstown Computer. We bring you the show. We've been doing it for about 10 years. We have a service portion of the company that we do. So if you have a computer that needs a hard drive upgrade, we do a lot of solid state drives. Okay. And what that means to most of you is most of the computers you buy in the store, it has a mechanical spinning drive. Like, it has platters of metal discs in there that spin around like a record, and all your data is recorded on that spinning record. Terribly slow, terribly inefficient. So, 5 or 6 years ago, they started making the move to a digital version of that, almost like USB drives that have no moving components in there, sort of like they have whole hard drives that are like USB sticks that are very quick, and it doesn't have to wait for the hard drive to find the data. It's immediately accessible. So we're talking about where Windows used to take a minute and a half to load when you hit the power button. We're talking like 20 seconds to load when you do a solid state drive. That much improvement. So we do a lot of solid state drive upgrades. So if you're interested in getting some performance out of it, call our guys, tell them you would like a solid state drive, and they're not expensive anymore. A lot of us avoided them for the longest time because you drop $500 in a solid state drive. If we evaluate your computer and you're only using a couple hundred gigs worth of data, it could be really inexpensive, almost as cheap as the mechanical drive. Now, again, you're not going to get the capacity that you did with a mechanical drive because remember, it's slow and cheap. So you can get a 2 terabyte drive for $60 on the mechanical drive. Well, it would be $125 for a 500 gig. So a quarter of the storage space, right? And almost triple the cost. Okay, so, but if you have low capacity, it's a really good investment. We've breathed life into i3s and machines that are 5 and 6 years old, and best performance increase you can make on a computer right now, dollar for dollar. So before you throw that computer away, you might consider upgrading to a solid state drive and increasing that performance by, at least 3 times where you're at right now. So phone number 330-259-7278 is the phone number. Make sure you leave a message with them and get something set up for Monday, and they'll be more than happy to take care of you. Get your repairs done. They come to you or you drop off to us, either way. So 330-259-7278. All right, we're going to take a break. 330-729-9977. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
Quiet, comfort, and affordability. The most important things when choosing a place to live. Westchester Square Apartments offers something to fit every need and budget. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and studio apartments. They rent apartments, but they sell convenience. You can find luxury living at Westchester Executive Apartments, 1,200 square feet of upscale living with carports, or independent senior living at Westchester Commons, strategically located in the center of Austintown, right next to Route 11. For the perfect apartment, call 330-799-5758. Come and be a good neighbor in a community of good neighbors. Westchester Square Apartments, Austintown. For more information, go to waldenmanagement.com.
Make Old Dutch Mill Golf Course and Halliday's Winery in Lake Milton your favorite fun time stops. There's something for everyone, from quality golf to great wine, food, live entertainment, and beautiful scenery. Halliday's and Old Dutch Mill are ideal venues for friends, family, reunions, parties, and receptions. There's never a dull moment at Old Dutch Mill Golf Course and Halliday's Winery in Lake Milton. Check out olddutchmill.com and hallidayswinery.com for this week's events.
Real stories of families in need. Helped by Congressman Bill Johnson.
My name is Sharon. My husband and I live in Columbiana, Ohio, which is in Bill Johnson's district. My son Joshua was a typical high school student. Joshua came to us and said he wanted to join the military. He wanted to be a pilot. I knew Bill Johnson had been in the Air Force. He was very willing to sit down with Josh and give him information. He became a mentor. Bill encouraged Josh to become an Air Force pilot, and he did. Josh even invited Congressman Johnson to be a speaker at his commissioning ceremony. Now Josh is a B-52 pilot and just returned from deployment in the Persian Gulf. Joshua's career path looks good right now. I don't know what we would have done without Bill Johnson.
I'm Bill Johnson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Johnson for Congress and authorized by Bill Johnson.
Now, Toby Keith should have been a Cowboy Tour 25.
I should have been a cowboy.
Presented by Ford F-Series.
Learn to roll around. Solo Cup.
September 3rd at the Canfield Fair.
How do you like me now?
Toby Keith.
Whiskey for my man.
Should have been a Cowboy Tour 25.
Brought to you courtesy of the Red Wild.
On sale now. Buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Get everything you need for your projects during Menard's Spring Catalog Sale. Add style and function with Dakota pre-finished wood shelving. Create your own custom storage space in closets, pantries, laundry rooms, and more. Dakota pre-finished square edge shelving is available in 6 finishes. 11 3/4 inch deep by 8-foot long square edge shelves are $6.99 each after rebate. Get Spring Catalog savings now through April 29th. Plus, Menard's gift cards are perfect for Mother's Day.
Save big money at Menards.
Tune in every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. for the Mahoning Valley Sportsman Show, hosted by Mike Craig, proudly brought to you by Bolt Construction. Over 35 years of doing things right in the gas and oil industry and airport gathering systems. Online at boltconstruction.cc.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
Great planting beds start with fresh mulch from Altier's Home and Garden Center. Start with Altier's very popular natural double shredded brown mulch or their color enhanced double shredded mulch in black, brown, and red tones. All can be enhanced with any of Altier's decorative stone. And don't forget the play area. Altier's has playground mulch. Remember, too, at Altier's, haul the mulch yourself or ask about same-day delivery. Call today, get it today. Altier's Home and Garden Center, South Avenue at the corner of McClurg Road in Boardman.
Hi, Helen. You coming to lunch today?
No, I can't find my red jewel.
Oh, okay. Helen lost her jewelry.
Oh, you know what? Helen is probably playing Jewel Quest on iPlay.com.
Hi, Helen. You meeting the girls for dinner?
No, I'm busy with a new romance.
Okay.
What is she doing tonight?
Helen says she's with a man?
Oh, she's playing Dark Romance on iPlay.com.
Helen, it's bridge night. Want to come over early?
Lucky 7, come on, baby, show me the jewel. Jackpot. Gotta go.
What?
What's going on?
Helen is in Las Vegas with her new boyfriend, and he has her jewels.
Helen is playing Las Vegas Casino on iPlay.com. Download iPlay.com for free to your PC and start your own adventure. You can choose from over 2,500 games. It's fun, easy to use, and if you like it, the low monthly payment lets you play as often as you want.
It's 56 degrees.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. This is what we get to do on Saturday, granted by this great radio station here on iHeart Channel 570 WKBN. Just have to brag about them. I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years, been a huge, great partner in everything we've asked. I mean, from, helping us produce commercials to giving us advice about marketing before we knew anything about what we were doing. I'm telling you, I came into this with the worst idea of what marketing was all about, and I was coached along by everybody who would give me time about what I should really be doing and saying and how I operated. And the best advice I've ever gotten from any other media company. It wasn't about getting the ad sale. I had friends who were helping me be successful, and I never forgot that. And I'll always be repaying that favor because just the time that they spent with me, they didn't have to, and they really cared about it being successful. So any of you who are on the fence about where you're going to do your advertising, I'll tell you, I had media plans to do advertising on TV, radio, television, or newspaper, anywhere that I can go, and I ended up accidentally starting with radio. And I've never left here, and I've never had to go in any other direction. In fact, I pulled the plug on everything else because the media was so successful and the people who were buyers were so loyal. I mean, I've literally been at customers' places that had more than one advertiser at their place at the same time. So I'm there to fix their computer, and somebody's there installing a TV, and there's somebody there putting a garage floor in. All advertisers of 570. So the listenership is so loyal to the brand. And so, 570 has extended, that to me as a provider. And all I really had to do was do a really good job. And they kept extending to me those olive branches and help. And the advertisers are the fellow advertisers are really great. They really are staples of this community, and they are involved. So I'm really proud to be a part of what this station does, and I'm really glad that we've had this relationship for as long as we have. So every once in a while I have to brag about them because it's the least I can do to motivate any of you out there that might be on the fence about just another. It's not a conventional, traditional means of advertising where they have that as a product. You get way more than when you're in this group. I hate to be say the whole it's family like, but it really is because honestly, the professional courtesies that they extend to you go way beyond what they have to, and it can only be interpreted as that they consider you family and they want you to succeed more than, just as much as you want to succeed. So I'd implore you to talk with the salespeople here and get hooked up with someone who could help grow your business. So they don't ask me to do this. This is from me on my side, just being extremely, I'm extremely thankful that I lucked into, having these relationships, because it was just by lightning strike. There was nothing, that I got good insight and took advantage of. It just certain happened the way. So thanks to everybody here at 570. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to take some more calls, 330-729-9977. You can text at 333-1570, and we'll talk some computers when we come up. I've almost promised that the whole next segment is going to be stuff tech-related, so be sure to get on the line, and I'll make sure that I answer your questions. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. I'll be right back.
Here's what's happening in the Valley. Bond is set for a Warren G. Harding staffer charged with sexual battery. Bond set at $15,000 for a former intervention specialist, Eric Klein. Klein was arrested Thursday on sexual battery charges. After an investigation, the sexual misconduct involved a 16-year-old back on March 14th. TJX is pulling out of Lordstown for the home goods facility. 27 First News reports residents felt the new facility would be better placed at a different location. Mayor Arno Hill supported the facility in Lordstown and says he's still willing to work with the company. A Youngstown couple has been sentenced in the death of a 16-month-old child. Joshua Ezad and Sarah Loth pleaded guilty of reckless homicide and child endangerment. According to Youngstown police, the child died from exposure to the drug carfentanil back in July. From the all-new and 2018 Power Chevrolet Buick GMC of Calcutta, Ohio newsroom, I'm Dave Price.
Our next update at 3.
Hi, this is Eric Clark at Fairway Ford in Canfield. And we've got an unbelievable truck inventory. I'm really excited. We've got 400 F-150s and Super Duties available. STXs, XLTs, Lariats, King Ranches, Platinums, and Limiteds. We're the #1 F-150 dealer in the region, including Ohio and Pennsylvania. Fairway is your Ford truck headquarters, and we'll pay top dollar for your trade-ins. See us at fairwayfordohio.com or 330-533-FORD. Fairway, that's the way we do business.
Career politician Mary Taylor, busted by the press for lying about Mike DeWine. That's not all she lies about. Taylor claims she's conservative, but she refused to endorse Donald Trump for president. She supported Obamacare's Medicaid expansion, then lied about it. And Taylor repeatedly used your tax dollars to benefit her family business. Not conservative, not trustworthy. That's Mary Taylor.
Mike DeWine is the proven conservative for governor. As Ohio's Attorney General, DeWine is cracking down on illegal immigration and getting tough on sanctuary cities. He supports President Trump's border wall and is fighting in court for the Trump travel ban that keeps us safe. And Mike DeWine is the undisputed leader protecting life. Ohio Right to Life endorsed Mike DeWine.
Not Mary Taylor.
Mike DeWine, rock-solid conservative for governor.
Paid for by DeWine Houston for Ohio, Jennifer Best, Treasurer.
Hi, once again, Dan Rivers for Copeland Oaks. Copeland Oaks, one retirement community offering many choices. Maintenance-free, utility-free ranch homes, spacious lakeside apartments, catered living suites that include support services, and assisted living with a professional nursing staff 24/7. Copeland Oaks Life Care Campus, located in nearby Sebring. CopelandOaks.com or phone 938-6126. That's 938-6126.
When it comes to construction, seek out the pros. Whitmer's Construction, locally owned and operated, offering design to build services, start to finish project management, shell erect, or turnkey new construction or commercial renovation. Regardless of the type of service Whitmer's Construction provides, rest assured that our highly trained staff will meet your expectations. Visit Whitmer's online at whitmersconstruction.com or 888-427-6025. Whitmer's Construction, reliable resources and results.
Real stories of families in need. Helped by Congressman Bill Johnson.
My name is Sharon. My husband and I live in Columbiana, Ohio, which is in Bill Johnson's district. My son Joshua was a typical high school student. Joshua came to us and said he wanted to join the military. He wanted to be a pilot. I knew Bill Johnson had been in the Air Force. He was very willing to sit down with Josh and give him information. He became a mentor. Bill encouraged Josh to become an Air Force pilot, and he did. Josh even invited Congressman Johnson to be a speaker at his commissioning ceremony. Now Josh is a B ceremony. Now Josh is a B-52 pilot and just returned from deployment in the Persian Gulf. Joshua's career path looks good right now. I don't know what we would have done without Bill Johnson.
I'm Bill Johnson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Johnson for Congress and authorized by Bill Johnson.
For your free quote, call 800-471-9807. That's 800-471-9807. 800-471-9807. Or go to selectquote.com.
Just ahead, more stimulating talk from the O'Charlie's Digital Studios. $9.99 menu, 9 great meals, 1 great price. O'Charlie's. Cool your home this summer. Call Mazza Heating and Cooling in Girard, your factory authorized Bryant dealer. Now, the Storm Team 27 forecast.
Skies becoming cloudy throughout this afternoon, a high in the mid-50s. Tonight, cloudy, a low 30. Sunshine for Sunday with a high 60. Monday, mostly sunny with a high 67.
It's 56 degrees.
570 WKBN.com, powered by Donnell Ford, Market Street, Boardman, with the largest Ford inventory in the valley.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. 330-729-9977 is the phone number, or you can text at 333-1570. Text message did come in, and this is a hot topic, so I'm not surprised that this is what we want to talk about. Joe heard your comment about the people in Lordstown that are against the distribution warehouse, and I see your point, but those people bought houses and land to build their homes there to get away from the hustle and bustle for the peace and tranquility. If they put this warehouse in, they'd have heavy traffic by their houses, and can't say I blame them for not wanting it here. And I totally agree with you. And that's where, when you have a society and a culture of cooperation and consideration, that means that no side gets ultimate decision. That person that built a house there has an opinion, and a company has an opinion, and both need to be weighed equally, so one doesn't get to win because they feel like winning. So if we give a community the ability to just be a total jerk to another person, right, that's not how we want to come to the table, because if you're a jerk, nobody wants to deal with you. So basically what happens, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to fast forward you a couple months or a couple years. Okay, so we don't bring the warehouse in, right? And then all of a sudden, tax base starts going downhill. And now you don't have a tax base, so you don't have city services, and you don't have people coming into town, you don't have jobs, and now your whole land and your property in your house, now you can't afford the protections. Your land value gets split in half. Right? Do you want that? Because that is also when you're dying, when your community is dying, and you're not doing things to build it back up. So you choose not having truck traffic and more traffic for my home to be worth nothing, and to my citizens and area to decay. That's the end result. When you don't look by your inconveniences, you don't consider what other people are going to have to. What's going to happen to them? The guy that now is not going to get the job that you chased out of town, or the tax base that then erodes, and then you don't have good schools. So that consideration is that you create a domino effect where, because you didn't feel like putting up with one thing, you stamped your foot, you breathed negativity into it. Everybody responded to your negativity, and now you killed the whole thing. Right? There should be no pride in being able to take something like that and saying somebody's opinion, decimated the opinions of all others. Because where it should be a voice, it can't be a voice that's able to squash things so easy. So I'm saying there's such power in our area that when somebody goes negative, they have the ability to destroy. And that's terrible. I'm not against the people who, bought houses and I want to stand up and say, hey, society, this is a consideration. I got land value and I've got sound problems and whatever, and I want to be counted. I want my opinion to matter, and I want the person on the other side of the negotiation to say, hey, you know what? We want to be a great community. We want to be a great neighbor, and we're gonna consider that too. But nobody gets to win or lose. Ultimately, it is a compromise. It's people sitting down and giving up some to get something else. When we're in this whole stamp your feet and we're not going to talk to you, nothing gets done. All right, so we're all sitting around just hating each other, creating a bunch of villains, and then people hate businesses, businesses hate people, and then what do you get? You get nothing. Progress goes nowhere. You create impasses when people stop talking. And if there's not leadership, like politicians, I sort of charge them with the ability to keep communication flowing, right? But they've got self-interest too. So they're not interested in, they pick a side and they jump on the fight no matter what, and you don't actually get unbiased opinions. You don't get unbiased fights, right? You get someone who picks a side and the other side has to lose. And that's where, if community leaders decide that nobody's opinion is better than another person's opinion. Does anybody want pollution? No. Okay, so why does it have to be pollution versus non-pollution? I don't think everybody wants no pollution, right? And everybody's on the side of it. So you have these polarizing topics that makes everybody fight with one another and nothing gets done. So yes, I think property owners have a voice, right? But it's not the only one. The voice of the guy who wants the job that's coming to town because of it, he's got a voice too, and it's an equal to the person who doesn't want truck traffic, because both of them will be inconvenienced if nobody starts talking. I'm sorry, I've just went that away again. 330-729-9977. Let's take some calls. Let's go to Joe. Joe, you're on the Youngstown Computer Show. How can I help you?
Hey, listen, I agree with you 100% about what you're talking about relative to the situation in Lordstown. That being said, I listen to you to listen. I want to learn about computers, and that's why I listen. And I'm not getting that today. I'm getting you on a soapbox talking like the other guys do. I mean, when I listen to the other guys, I don't hear stuff about computers. Your computer knowledge to me is golden, and I'm not getting that today. So that's all I wanted to say.
All right, Joe, I appreciate you calling. Bye. All right, bye. And like I said, if I want to talk about computers here, but when I do get involved in Youngstown, and I'm doing my best, I mean, when I get to sit here and talk about it, I'm going to take advantage of it because I believe in it and I'm passionate about it. So I apologize, Joe. This is the one anomaly that I'm going to give myself. I'm going to grant myself a pass this week, and we'll get back to normal programming. I couldn't stop thinking about this morning because it's one of the 2 times I can ever think of being a part of this community, and I got literally embarrassed that I had to question what my next motive is. I have to question what steps I take next. So Joe, again, I apologize, and it's just part of the gig, and we will get back to normal as often and as soon as possible. All right, so with that promise in mind, we have a meeting every Friday at Youngstown Computer, and I mentioned last week that I look at a stack of customer comments, very valuable to me as to how we're doing out in the real world, what people are coming through the door, what they're asking us to do, and how we're responding, and their experience when they come through our door. And when this past week, there were a couple of projects that we heard about last week, but I didn't know a whole lot about them. Whereas I wanted to introduce what we were able to do that you might not even know as in tech was even possible. So I want to sort of introduce virtualization a little bit and how it impacted somebody who very specific situation. Okay, so this person had a hobby. And they had an application that they used in the pursuit of this hobby. And it was done, I believe, in Windows XP. And so they didn't have new software. The thing was aged. It was, maybe a decade old. And they didn't have new stuff. And it wasn't compatible with any new operating system. And it's one of those things where, they were starting to consider what they would do with this application that they needed after the Windows XP went away, no longer could use it, right? So what we did was, through virtualization, we can emulate an environment. So think of like you walk up to your computer and you have your desktop and your My Documents and so on and so forth. You can run a virtual computer on your desktop. So you open up VirtualBox, which is an application that manages virtualization. So you open up this app, Word or Internet Explorer, and inside you have a gray background. Now what you can do is you can load an operating system inside that virtual computer. So you can load Linux or you can load Windows XP, or in our case, we took a computer that was already operational and we moved an image of that into a virtual environment. So that operating system, it thought that it was in the same spot that it was running on a computer. It knows no different. It sees that it has access to memory. It sees that it has processing ability. It sees that it has communication with the network. So it's been emulated. So it thinks it's still running on a computer, when in reality, you have your Windows 7 or your Windows 10 box that has that computer inside of that computer. The value in that is you can keep old operating systems and old programs and old data alive indefinitely, because you're virtualizing all of the gravity and all the other characteristics of the environment through that app. So if I image that virtualized version in 10 years, I'm pretty certain that I can keep that thing alive. Whereas the operating systems will continue to change, that virtualization will not. It'll stay and maintain the same into the future. So it's very valuable in this guy's case that virtualization was an option, because they were able to take these old applications that they were getting a little bit afraid of, that eventually they were not going to have access to, and we're able to perpetuate it. We've even keeping DOS applications alive, where I had a guy that managed all of his investments and his finances through this DOS app, and he was really comfortable with it, and none of the new stuff did, for him what his old stuff did. So we put it into a virtual environment. He can continue to this day, still use a program that's over 20 years old. So if you have something similar in an application that you want to sort of allow to exist after the operating system it was designed for, this is a perfect example. So 330-259-7278. Let those guys know that that you'd like to delve into what virtualization can bring, whether or not it's just on the residential side, a hobbyist, or on the commercial side. Virtualization is I use it more than I thought I would. In our cases, we use virtualization to test out applications that might be risky. So rather than screwing up the whole computer, right, if I put an app that I'm unfamiliar with, I could load into a virtual environment. If it screws everything up, I just reload the virtual environment, and the host computer is completely okay. And same thing with viruses. If I create a virtual environment and put my Outlook in the virtual environment, and let's just say I accidentally open a virus, right? It doesn't affect the outside computer. It only affects the inside computer, and then I could just wipe it out and do Outlook. And that's a really good way to take all your risky applications and put them in a sandbox where they're safe and they don't get to affect other parts of the computer. And then you can be very specific about how much resources they're given and so on and so forth. So very valuable in those couple examples of virtualization. So I got solid state drives that I plugged pretty hard and let you know what benefits. Virtualization, very, very specific group that would benefit from virtualization. But you Mac users out there, I have a guy on staff that does all of our Mac work. And over the weekend, or I'm sorry, just on Friday, we had a G5 that started, just shut down, or not shut down, but gave a display that had a bunch of stripes on the screen, right? And so immediately, we're going to go with something wrong with the video card. And what you realize pretty quick is there aren't a whole lot of people who support Macs in our area. And so I brought it back to the office, and we did some troubleshooting in 30 minutes or so. And we came to some conclusions on what it could be. But there aren't a whole lot of people familiar to the point where they can do service work on Macs. And they're not all that entirely different than the PC. There's some specific ways you got to give them a little bit different attention. And in this case, we've serviced enough of these Macs to know that this was a very common failure. So we kind of know what we have to do next. But I don't know that any of you know that we even service Macs, because I don't know that I talk about it all that much. I know that we mess with iPhones and iPads and whatnot, but Macs, whether it be iMacs, they just did my iMac. They put a solid state drive in it. They pulled the screen off and took the hard drive out and put a new hard drive in. And I got this Mac that's 9 years old. That's really old, and I started using it last week, and it's been, it was a great, now just with a solid state drive, is a great performer again. Whereas, you plan on replacing PCs about every 5 years, this thing's almost going to be a decade old, and I could use it for just everything that I can with a traditional or a modern i5. So just wanted to consider that too with your upgrades, that if you have an older G5 or we don't see G4s too much anymore, that's just too old, but we see a lot of iMacs come through there. But if you have a Mac that needs some help, memory upgrades, hard drive, troubleshooting, we don't see viruses all that much, but they do occur. Some backups and data stuff. So any of that stuff, just make sure that you give Youngstown Computer a call if any of those things you're interested in. Our guys are really good at performing, those services. We do enough of them that they've got the tactic pretty well down. So 330-259-7278 is the phone number. We're located over on 600 Youngstown Poland Road over in Struthers. Soon to be, we'll have an office downtown. This is more of a media marketing studio office. It's not going to be your workbench area. So we'll keep the bench over there on Youngstown Poland Road. Really well supported by the community over there in Struthers and Mahoning County as a whole. So we're going to keep that location where it is. It's nice and convenient. We're right off of 680. You go down Midlothian, you go down Youngstown Poland. We're right there on the left. There's a good deal of other 570 advertisers right on that strip. So if you're familiar with the people that are down there, we're gonna keep our presence over there in good old Struthers. So again, 330-259-7278. We're over there, 600 Youngstown Poland Road over in Struthers. You can catch us at youngstowncomputer.com. So you don't really have to write down all those numbers. You can always find it over on youngstowncomputer.com. Because I do talk fast and it's hard to write down what I say anyway, youngstowncomputer.com is the best way to dig up that information. You could even do a service request right through our website. So it makes it nice and convenient. You can pick the time that you're dropping off. And again, us busy people, you can do it over the weekend and it just gets all set up for Monday. Really cut and dry. So, all right, we're going to take a break. Come back, take some more of your phone calls, 330-729-9977. You're listening to the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN. We'll be right back.
From America's best-selling automobile to the world's toughest trucks, there's a reason why customers are driving from Youngstown, Boardman, Austintown, Hermitage, even Cleveland and Pittsburgh. So come and find out for yourself at our all-new state-of-the-art facility on Route 46. See you at Toyota of Warren.
In '86, Mike DeWine voted for the largest amnesty in American history. 20 years later, DeWine voted with Obama and Hillary for an even bigger amnesty.
Mrs. Clinton, aye. Mr. DeWine, aye. Mr. Obama, aye.
DeWine has supported taxpayer-funded benefits for illegals, even giving them Ohio driver's licenses, while ignoring the threat of sanctuary cities. Amnesty, welfare for illegals, sanctuary cities. D.C. DeWine, too liberal for too long. Ohio needs a conservative champion. Mary Taylor supports the wall, and she will stand alongside President Trump to ban sanctuary cities, cutting off funds for cities that don't enforce the law, and jail time for any local official that resists. Mary Taylor is the strong conservative who is tough on illegal immigration. No amnesty, no welfare for illegals, no sanctuary cities. Mary Taylor will keep our families safe. Mary Taylor, made tough. Paid for by Taylor Estruth for Ohio.
Hey friends, as a marketer, you want to reach everyone, right? Adults, teens, millennials? But it's not like all these groups hang out in the same place. Actually wrong. They're all right here, listening to radio commercials just like this one. Radio ads connect with 93% of Americans every week. Now that's more than Google, more than Facebook, more than TV. In fact, we reach 20% more millennials than TV. Want more of the people you want to talk to? Hey, they're all in one place, right here. Get AM/FM working for you. Go to iHeartMedia.com.
If you turn 65 this year, you are eligible for Medicare. To help you understand your choices and possibility of financial assistance, the Ohio Department of Insurance is holding Welcome to Medicare events across the state. So join us at a free event near you. Make sure your plan suits your budget and your needs. For more information, contact the Ohio Department of Insurance at 1-800-686-1578 or go online at insurance.ohio.gov.
Real stories of families in need. Helped by Congressman Bill Johnson.
My name is Sharon. My husband and I live in Columbiana, Ohio, which is in Bill Johnson's district. My son Joshua was a typical high school student. Joshua came to us and said he wanted to join the military. He wanted to be a pilot. I knew Bill Johnson had been in the Air Force. He was very willing to sit down with Josh and give him information. He became a mentor. Bill encouraged Josh to become an Air Force pilot, and he did. Josh even invited Congressman Johnson to be a speaker at his commissioning ceremony. Now Josh is a B-52 pilot and just returned from deployment in the Persian Gulf. Joshua's career path looks good right now. I don't know what we would have done without Bill Johnson.
I'm Bill Johnson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Johnson for Congress and authorized by Bill Johnson.
Arthritis, back pain, knee pain, bursitis, fibromyalgia. Learn how you can solve these problems. Sunday morning, 7 a.m. News Radio 570 WKBN.
If you're thinking it or doing it, there's an iHeartRadio playlist for it, and you can try it for free right now. iHeartRadio's created a playlist perfect for any mood, activity, or moment in your life. Suddenly, you're the emergency DJ at your friend's house. We got you. There are thousands of iHeartRadio playlists. Find the one perfect for your moment. Road trip, love songs, or maybe you need that workout push. There's a free playlist for that. Try it now. All your favorite music, all your favorite stations, all free. iHeartRadio.
It's 56 degrees.
All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Youngstown Computer Show. I just want to mention some of the training that we have lined up over the next couple months. As soon as the weather breaks, we do two things. We start sort of a training regiment. I roll out some classes about Windows and some data transferring and some backups. So if the two that we have lined up here in the short term, we have a managing some data on your cell phone. So we're going to have some strategies for keeping your data, transferring it to the computers and putting it on external drives and knowing how that data works. Because a lot of you end up hoarding a lot of your videos and pictures only because you don't know a safe place to put it, and you'd rather have it be on your phone than be lost. And we come across a lot of people that the only places that their important stuff are on their phone, and they don't back it up, and it's not in the cloud and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that you can do to make multiple copies. And a free one here is if you sign up with, if you have iCloud, you can publish all of your pictures right up to the internet. So as you take pictures, it uploads them up to the web. So that cloud stuff, if you have duplication, then if you lose your phone or it breaks or something like that happens to it, then at least you have a copy of it on the cloud somewhere. And it happens real time, because I'm real bad about making full backups except for every once, in a month or so. So when I started doing the cloud regimen, that means I take a picture and it goes up. Even if it's a lesser quality picture, at least I have a copy of it in case something should happen. And then my monthly backup gives me the exactly a copy of what's on my phone. So a lot of these strategies we'll share with you and teach you how we can do it safely, and there are other ways. So again, if you're interested in taking any of those classes coming into the spring here, give our office a call, 330-259-7278. Get on the list, and that way when we set dates, we can call you and let you know when they're going to be. Basic Windows class 2. These are the classes that teach you the introductory. So prerequisites are on an intro class, how to move the mouse around, and you don't have to know much more than that. If you can click around. So practice now using the mouse, because you're going to need it when we start explaining where the start button is and what the desktop is and so on and so forth. You're going to at least have to be able to use the controls, know how to do the keyboard, know how to do the mouse. We'll take it from there and fill in the rest. So those two things. And then again, when the weather gets good, now's the time to start thinking about doing the maintenance, where you bring your computer in, we clean the inside of it, where, inside that computer, think about it this way: air's full of particulates, and in the summer, it's nice and humid. The particulates stay in the air. In the winter, it gets dry, and the particulates fall out of the air. So they get sucked into your computer. So during the winter, you get this amazing amount of dirt and dust that accumulate inside the computer. So make sure that you start to consider bringing it in. We usually do a $100 special to do the cleanups, and it's just a regular maintenance. Okay, we're going to be done for today. Thank you for letting me deviate from the regular thing. I'm sorry if anybody was upset that we went off track here, but it had to be done because it's just part of me, and it is what it is. So we'll see you next week. This is the Youngstown Computer Show on 570 WKBN.
Today's technology makes things easier because everything's connected. Your cell phone, your tablet, even your smart TV. all connected to one account, and they're all connected to your Wi-Fi. It only takes just one weak link for a cyber thug criminal to break in and obtain your data. And that's why the new LifeLock identity theft protection now adds the power of Norton security to your devices. Now, while LifeLock uses proprietary technology